Before I start this video, I just want to say that I am talking about suicide, and I'm talking about my experience of suicide and what happened. So if that is triggering for you, or you're not in the place that you really should be watching that and it wouldn't be good for you, please don't watch this, because it is talking in detail about my experience. So really, I want to start where it happened. 2016, Christmas Eve, I tried to take my own life. I took a lot of tablets. I couldn't tell you what I took. I just took everything I had, drank a lot of alcohol, and got into a very hot bath. And there was a lead up to this. The week before, I was worked really well. It was so calm. But every single day, I ran a bath and got into that bath with the hopes that I would drown myself. And it was a strange week, because it was this so calming feeling that, okay, this is the answer to my problems, I can just go. And so when it did come to Christmas Eve and I did that, I was in the bath and I just hoped I'd pass out. And I didn't. And I got really angry with myself. I can't even do this. And then what I did is got out of the bath soaking wet, very, very drunk, and got into my bed soaking. Soaked my bed through, and then I woke up in the early hours of the morning and I was violently sick. And then I was ill for the next week. And bearing in mind, at this time I was having counselling, I was on antidepressants, I was doing everything kind of to help myself. And I did have a doctor's appointment that Thursday. I can't remember what day Christmas Eve was, but I had a doctor's appointment Thursday. I know it was a few days after. And this doctor had seen me a few times and he knew what I'd been going through. And I told him what happened. And I hadn't told anyone else. I hadn't told any friends or family or anyone. And he was like, I think we need to get you a little bit more help, don't we? I didn't want any help. In my head, I wanted a tablet. I wanted a tablet that would be painless, and that would be it. And I can't ask that. You can't ask a doctor for a tablet. You can't ask anybody, can I have a tablet? And it, it'd be a painless death. So he sent me into the waiting room and told me to wait there while he rang up who he needed to ring up. And I remember sitting there thinking, what am I doing here? Like, I don't want help. I don't want to be here. What am I doing? Why am I getting help? I don't understand. And he brought me back in and they got me in contact with the crisis team. And I think it was the next day, or maybe that day they rang me. And what happened was, for the next 2 weeks, either somebody would come and visit me. So one day someone would visit me, the next day I'd get a phone call, as it went like that. And if I needed anybody, then they would come if I wanted, they said. So, it was very supportive. And they helped me. And I had a psychiatrist come to see me first to make sure I was safe, to make sure that I was okay at home, which he deemed that I was. And I view it as really a cry for help. But, and this is why I'm doing this video, because it's not talked about a lot, how to deal with it and what happens in your brain a little bit. I had to really work so hard to get out of that mindset. And I describe it now as building a mental six-pack. All of the skills that these people that were so amazing were giving me, I had to apply them. They couldn't do it for me. I had to do that. Nobody could do it. I had amazing support from my family, my cousin specifically. She came over for a whole week and stayed with me and spoke to my family, because I didn't tell them. We'll touch on my family on another video. This is a different subject entirely, so I'm not going into that in this video, but there's a lot to talk about with regards what's happened and what's happening with my family, my immediate family. But for 3 months, I struggled after that, where I still wanted to kill myself. The suicidal thoughts were still there until the end of March. And I mean suicidal thoughts to the point where I knew what I would do. Not I felt suicidal, but actually I had a plan. And that is the difference, really, between the danger zone, I think. Not that somebody that's got suicidal thoughts and haven't got a plan isn't dangerous, because it is. It still is to be taken seriously. But I had a plan. And every single day I had to do things to help myself. One of the skills that they told me to kind of employ, or techniques, is kind of do something for yourself every day and say to yourself you're doing that for you. So even like going to Costa for a coffee, or just watching a TV program that you like, but actually saying, today I'm going to do that because I'm worth that. I'm worth that. Saying it out loud. Self-validation. And I did that. And it was so difficult. Every single day. Because I lived on my own. Every single day I came home and I had a puzzle. I had a jigsaw that I did. Every day on my table in the kitchen, I had this jigsaw, and I made myself do it because I knew that was kind of like distracting me, because my brain was constantly like thinking of, why am I here? What's the purpose? And it was really, really difficult to get out of that. I got to the lowest of the lowest point and then had to lift myself back up, and no one else can do it. You can have all the help in the world, but you've got to do it yourself. And it's taught me many, many lessons, and it's made me stronger. I am such a different person now, not just because of that, many other things, but that experience and understanding how it is to be in that mindset. And like I say, I was having counselling, I was under medication, and yet still I got to that point. And I think it's so important to talk about this, because I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of that. And it's not the person that I am now. And what you have to understand also is, when somebody's feeling suicidal, they are not in the right mind. Their brain is not thinking normally, not thinking in a rational way. I know that from experience, because when I look back and I think about how my brain thought, like, it's totally different. It's awful. And like I say, every single day until the end of March at that year, so over 3 months, I had this, I just wanted to die. And I did have something at the side of my bed that it was there as a reminder that I am in control. And I think that's it. When someone's suicidal, I think it is about them not feeling in control of their own life, and to be able to take your life, it's a control and a relief, and that's where I was at with it. And thankfully I didn't, and thankfully I'm here today, and I feel so pleased that I got over that. Many people sadly don't. And I still struggle. I still have days, I still have weeks where I feel suicidal, but I haven't ever got to that point now. Since then, I've never got to that point where I know what I would do to kill myself. I feel low and I feel like, oh, why am I here? And it'd be so much easier not to be. But I've learned the skills, and I ask for help, and I speak to people. I talk. I speak to everybody about my feelings to make sure that I'm okay and I'm grounded, and that it's okay not to be okay. And I know it's a cliche and it's said all the time, but it's really okay not to be okay, because we all get like it. It doesn't mean you're less of a person. And I'm going to do another video on this subject at some point to do with what you can do to help yourself. I've touched on it in this, but there's so many other things, and how to help someone else who you know, if you're worried about them or anything like that. So thank you so much for listening. I really hope it hasn't triggered anybody, and please subscribe. I'm going to be doing lots more videos. I'm planning on doing at least a video a week. Thank you for the support so far. I had so much support from just my intro video. I've got so much I want to do for this channel. Got so many ideas, and I'm so excited. I've got so much support. It's unreal. Like, I've got amazing friends, amazing support. So thank you to all of you that are supporting me, because I know you're listening. And yes, thank you very much.